Hello everyone and welcome to another math video. Today we're going to be looking at probability and how to calculate probability for simple events like rolling a die or playing dice or um, playing cards, different things like that. Just a reminder, this is the short version of this video, so we're going to go through this pretty quickly. If you want the longer lesson where we sort of just go through every type of example, I will link that in the description below. Before attempting this lesson, you should already know how to reduce fractions and how to round decimals. If you need a refresher on those topics, I will link the decimals in the description below. All right, so probability, here we go. Probability is a branch of mathematics that has to deal with how likely something is, the possibility of something happening. So for example, this graphic here shows you that flying pigs is impossible. Okay, there's a 0% chance of that happening. If you roll a die, which is, if you have multiple, it's called dice, but singular, it's called a die. If you roll a die, the chance of rolling, let's say, a 5 is not very likely. It's unlikely because there's 6 numbers, right? You only have a 1 out of 6 chance, so that's unlikely. Flipping a coin has an even chance, and that's because this is a 50-50. Okay, 50% chance happening, 50% not happening. If you were to spin this spinner, the chance of it landing on green is very likely. Okay, there's more green than red. And then the sun and the moon coming up, in the day and the night, this is certain. Okay, this is a 100% chance. So let's try some problems here. So it says, this is the formula we're going to use. Possible outcomes divided by the total outcomes. You roll a 6-sided die, and then it says, what is the p parentheses 6? This p just means what is the probability of rolling a 6? Well, there are 6 total outcomes, and the one that we're looking at, the possible outcome that we're looking at, there's only one number on there that is a 6, right? What is the probability of rolling a 6? Well, it's 1, and you can think of this as 1 out of 6. Okay, that's what that fraction bar means there. 1 out of 6 chance. For this problem, let me get my calculator going here. All right. It says you pick a card at random. What is the probability that you pull an odd card? So, an odd numbers, little terminology refresher here. Odd numbers would be 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, ... Okay, those are numbers that are not divisible by 2 evenly. So in this card, in this deck of cards, the only number that is an odd number is 3. So the chance of pulling an odd is 1 out of the 3 cards. Now, it says write your answer as a percentage, rounded to the nearest tenth. Let's take that one at a time. To convert it to a percentage, you need to multiply by 100. So I'm going to do that on my calculator over here just so we can see it. 1 divided by 3 times 100 is 33.3 repeating. All right. Oops. Darn it. Let's clean this up. 33.3 repeating. Put the bar over it to show that it's repeating. And then it says rounded to the nearest tenth. So my final answer is 33.3%. Probability of me pulling an odd number is 33.3%. For these two problems, it says, what is the probability of pulling a prime number? I find that most students need a refresher or never learned what a prime number is. So here we go. Prime numbers are numbers that are divisible only by itself and 1, meaning 2 is a prime number because it can only be divided by 2 and 1. 3 is a prime number because it can only be divided by 3 and 1. 4 is not a prime number because it can be divided by 1, 2, and 4. 5 is a prime number. 6 is not a prime number. 7 is a prime number. 8 is not. 9 is not. 10 is not. 11 is a prime number, okay? We won't go any higher here. We're only going up to 6. So it says, what is the probability of getting a prime number when you roll a die? Well, prime numbers would be 2, 3, and 5. So there are 3 out of 6 chances. This can also be reduced. So this is a 1 out of 2 chance. This is a 50% chance. Okay, 1 out of 2 chance. For this problem on the right, it says, what is the probability that you get a factor of 49? Okay, factors, divisors. If you want a refresher on how to find factors and divisors, you just sort of make a T-chart. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not going to go higher than 6 because this is a 6-sided die. And then you just take each of these. If you can't do it in your head, that's okay. Just plug it in the calculator. 49 divided by 1 is 49. 49 divided by 2 is a decimal. Don't use it. 49 divided by 3 is a decimal. Don't use it. 49 divided by 4 is a decimal. Don't use it. 49 divided by 5, decimal. 49 divided by 6, decimal. So the only number that is on a die that is a factor of 49 is 1. So there is a 1 out of 6 chance of getting a factor of 49. All right, here's our cool clock for today, which means that it's time for you to practice what you just learned. Go ahead and pause your video and try these 3 problems on your own. And when you're ready to check your answers, you can unpause your video. Okay, now that you've had a chance to work these problems, let's take a look at your answers. For number 1 here in the top left, what is the probability that you get a divisor of 35? The only number on the list that's a divisor of 35 would be 5. So that would be 1 out of 4. It says write your answer as a percentage rounded to the nearest tenth. So you should have multiplied by 100, which is 25. And then notice that it says rounded to the nearest tenth, so you actually need to put 25.0%. Okay, have to put the 0.0 because it said rounded to the nearest tenth. Let's go top right here, number 2. What is the probability that you can get a drink stand? Well, you should have done 2 out of 20 because there are 2 drink stands, and then the total number of attractions would be 2 plus 18, which is 20. This can be reduced. Divide by 2, which would give you 1 out of 10. Final answer. Again, your teacher or program may take 2 out of 20, but just to be safe, we'll reduce, simplify. Number 3, you spin the spinner once. What is the probability that you roll an 8? Well, that would be a 1 out of 4 chance. And it says write your answer as a percentage, so we need to multiply by 100. And so this would give me 25% final answer. All right, that is it for today. I hope you all have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.